Hello, everyone. There we go. I think I was just backwards or sideways or something. So now we're good. So, hello and welcome to Transform Your Business Thursday. Today we're going to be talking about leveling up, getting re-inspired, and uncovering those blind spots so you can gain the momentum that you want and move forward. So if you're on the live, say hi, replay, hashtag replay. This is something we've been talking about for the month of January so far, right? It's like, what is your goal? What is your intention? There's, what do you want to create? What is your vision for 2020? And how do you plan on getting there? And there is one thing that you can do. Well, there's several, but there's one thing I'm going to talk about today that you can do to get you there faster. And the thing is, we don't have to be in this all alone. And sometimes as online entrepreneurs, we kind of feel like we're all alone. Whether you're working from home or you have an office, but you're behind your laptop, you're just kind of going at it all alone. And sometimes that doesn't feel good. So that's what we want to talk about today. We're going to talk about a possible solution for you because you can get support, you can gain momentum, and it all starts with changing how you are thinking about it, how you are going about it. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nikki Gangemi, and I help online coaches shift their identity to thriving entrepreneur so they can make more money and impact doing what they love. So I know for myself, I can relate to this, working from home, living alone, it can get a little lonely. And that's why part of the reason why I wanted to get out and go local was to get myself out, meeting like-minded people, interacting with people who are doing the same thing or similar as I am, making those connections. It feels really good to connect and to collaborate with people. And sometimes that's with all the social media and online space, connection is something that is a little bit lost today, right? So it feels really good when we can connect with others. So I was chatting with a friend the other day, and she was saying how sometimes she just feels like she's just all on her own, she has a husband, she has a daughter, but as far as getting her online business off the ground, she's basically working at it by herself. And I know what that feels like because, like I said, I've been there, but I've also worked with coaches. I've worked in like little group programs, and I've made accountability buddies and partners, and it's nice to have somebody to help you keep your focus and keep going, especially when it can get a little hard. I know even this morning I woke up and I had my Pilates class at 8:30, but I was fighting with myself to get up and out of bed. And originally I wanted to get up early so that I could do my little morning routine of having a cup of coffee and journaling and doing maybe a little bit of meditating and tapping. But I just was like fighting with myself on the inside to get up because my body was so tired, and I must have went back and forth 100 times, stay in bed and skip Pilates because, well, I went to the gym Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so sure, you could take off today, having that conversation. But finally, after a half hour of snoozing, I made myself just get up and go. But I didn't feel so inspired to do it. And, sometimes, like I said, when you have that partner to do it with, like even if you have somebody that you are going to the gym with, let's just say, it always feels easier when you've got someone there in your corner who's going along this route with you. And it just kind of, like I said, it gives you that inspiration to keep moving forward. So that's what we're really talking about today. It's one of the things that you can do to not only get re-inspired and gain the momentum that you want, but also to uncover your blind spots, because that's a big thing. There's a lot that we can't see for ourselves, right? Can you relate to that? Where, and I'll just give this little example. It's like where your friend might be having an issue and you can clearly see what it is. You can totally see it because you're at a different vantage point, right? You're removed, you've got that distance, so you could see exactly what the problem is that she's not seeing. But when it's you and you're in it, you're not removed from the perceived problem that you see. You can't see it, right? So it's like a blind spot and you just don't know, right? And another thing is that also we sometimes get in our own way and hold ourselves back when our small self or when our ego thinks that we're about to go beyond our comfort zones and level up or get to the next level. So we get these little self-sabotaging behaviors, that will say things like, well, this is hard, or, I'm really tired, or, tomorrow's another day, things like that. And then we procrastinate, we do all sorts of different things. So consider who you spend your time with and the people that you surround yourself with. Jim Rohn said that it's the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with, that is who you tend to show up as and be. And people have they have variations of it, like you are the sum total of the 5 people that you hang out with. And that's really true. When you hang out or spend time with people maybe that are negative or that complain, it brings you down, because everything is energy. And that when you walk into a room, you can sense the energy of the people in it. And it could be up and it could be lively and it could be a fun atmosphere, or it could be kind of like just somber and down, or somewhere even in between. But the thing is, you feel it and you sense it. And we tend to be like chameleons, right? And we can kind of, how am I trying to say this? You will kind of copy whatever's going on, the person or the people that you're in the group with. You could be really up and then you could be brought down by those people or that energy, or vice versa. You could just kind of be feeling off that day and tired and maybe just a little annoyed or out of it. But then you get yourself surrounded by these people and you're engaged in a conversation, and before you know it, you're now kind of modeling their energy and their behavior, and you're feeling so much better. So that's the thing, when you get out of just trying to do it alone and be by yourself, and you start collaborating and connecting and working with other people towards what you want, you get this synergy, right? This energy that comes from just working together, and how much more you can accomplish, how much you tend to stretch, right? And grow as a person. You pretty much end up rising, right? And becoming the next best version of yourself. It's just so strange, but it's something about not having to do it all alone, and having that person or those people, that group, that handful of people in your corner that see the best in you, that know that you can do that. It's like they could see your potential, and there's something about it that all of a sudden, you just rise to that, because we're so much more capable of what we want to do. And the thing is, we can. When we say things like it's hard, is it really hard if you think about it? It's usually not that it's hard. It's that it's the thoughts that we're thinking, that we're telling ourselves about what we want to do, that are making it seem hard. Take for example Facebook Lives. Some people that don't do lives, they say, well, it's hard, it's it's scary. It's really not. If we break it down, and let's just use the example of a Facebook Live, it's you sitting in an empty room with nobody there. And you are talking at your phone or iPad or computer, and you hit a little button, not even a button, you hit this thing on your screen. You hit your screen that says go live, and then all of a sudden you're live. But so it's not the fact of going live that's scary. or hard or stressful. It's what we're telling ourselves about that action. And it's the same thing when it comes to your goals, when it comes to your intentions for what you want to create for this year or this quarter or anything. Even going to the gym, like I said this morning, it's not about the act itself. It's what you tell yourself. It's that internal dialogue, that conversation that's going on in the back of your mind. And sometimes you're aware of that conversation, but a lot of times you're not even aware of it. But it's draining and it brings you down. So this is something to be aware of. And you just have so much more success when you get help, when you get support, whether it's from a colleague or a friend that you have this common goal and you want to go at it together. You're going to hold each other accountable, you're going to check in with each other. That's one option. Or whether it's working with a coach. But you always, and I don't like to use always and never, but I'm going to use it this time. I think, and it's just my opinion, we're all entitled to our opinions, right? I think that you always grow more, expand more when you have support, when you have some kind of a support system. Because like I said, sometimes you get overwhelmed or frustrated, or you'll end up getting scattered and you'll be all over the place, and you might not notice it because it's a blind spot and you can't see it. But when you are working with someone, whether it's a mentor or a coach or a colleague, a friend, whatever, they can see what you can't, because they're removed from it. Just like we give advice to other people, it's simple because we're not in it. It's kind of like we're out of the storm that's going on, that thought storm that goes on in our mind. So I think it's the American Training Society, whatever. There's been research done that you are 95% more likely to meet your goal when you have a support system. When you have someone or a group of people that you're checking in with on a regular basis, and I agree because I've seen evidence of it myself. I know myself, sure, I could sit there and I can write out on a piece of paper, and I'll do it actually with my to-do list. Each day I'll make a to-do list. This is what I want to get accomplished. But I'll notice that I'll stray from it. I'll think, well, I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to check, my feed, or I'm going to go do this and that. And before you know it, the hours somehow have slipped by. It's amazing how fast time goes, right? And then it's like, well, I didn't do 3 of the things out of the 5 that I put to accomplish for the day. Whereas if I had somebody that I knew I had to check in with, and somebody that I knew was doing the same thing, and I'm like, you want to support each other, you want to help each other, you're more likely to stay focused and commit to what you set out to do. So it's just human nature. It's just how we work, and let me know if you agree with me, if you kind of understand, you feel the same way. And like I said, it's in with everything. It's even with going to the gym. You're more likely to get up and go when you're going to meet your friend there and you're going to do the workout together. You're going to take the class together, as opposed to just doing it by yourself, doing it on your own, because you don't have to. There's a ton of support out there. So that's what I wanted to talk about with you today, having this support system. And also, I want to give you an opportunity to have a support system. I am starting an accountability coaching pod next week. And I don't want you to be thrown off by the word accountability, because I was thinking about this, because I like to think about words and how the word makes you feel. And for me, the word accountability has some negative connotations, right? When you think of being held accountable, I think of being back in school, whether it was grade school or high school or college, and you had to be held accountable for your actions and even for your parents. There is like a negative stigma sometimes to accountability. So when I say accountability, I more mean support, right? That when you say you're going to do something and you commit to taking certain action steps that you follow through and see that to completion. It's really you holding yourself accountable to your word, right? And being in integrity. And that feels good, number one. And number two, that's how you start to build trust with yourself. And when you have a group that you're coming to each week and you're seeing them on video, because we're going to be meeting on Zoom, so we're going to see each other, and there's only going to be 3 of you and me, so it's very small, it's very intimate, it's very personal. You're more likely going to do what you said you were going to do, because you know that when you meet back on the next week, that you're going to share, what were your wins, what worked for you, what didn't, where did you fall short, and where do you maybe need help in tweaking the plan that you had, so that you set yourself up for success. So think about what is an intention or a goal. I like to use the word intention personally. Again, intention feels a lot lighter than the word goal, which could seem really big and far away. And then we get into the whole, oh, it's hard, I can't do it. Nope, excuses. So whatever word you need to use. But when you create whatever that intention is for the week, that you make sure we're going to work together, that it's something that excites you, that it lights you up, that it makes you feel that this is totally doable. In fact, it's a done deal. And now that I'm clear on the little steps that I'm going to take, is we're going to chunk it down so that it definitely feels like it's something that you can do. When you chunk it down, I have a path. I know where I'm going, right? It's not like getting in the car and taking an hour drive. And number one, you got to know where you're going, right? You've got to know the destination. So we've got to get clear on what is your big vision. That's really important. And then also knowing the directions. How do I get from point A to point B? There's got to be these steps, right? And they don't even have to be linear. And that's another thing. It's not linear, where I've got A takes me to B, takes me to C. It's like staying open to what's possible, what can come in, what inspired ideas might come in when you uncover those blind spots. And I help you to do that, or we help each other to do that. So then your mind just opens up. It's like those creative juices are flowing, and now you can have an idea for something that's going to help to get you where you want to be, and it wasn't what you thought. So sometimes we take these little detours and we recalculate, and that's okay. And that's just how things work in life, right? With everything. Is this making sense, you guys? Let me know if you're understanding this. And please ask any questions that you have. I don't want you to just wonder or to assume. Ask the question, because I'm here to answer them for you. So in this accountability coaching pod, and again, you might be thinking, well, I can have a friend that'll hold me accountable, or I could hold myself accountable. Sure, absolutely. But also this is a group coaching as well. So the difference is you're going to have me as your coach to help support you in whatever emotional roadblock is coming up, and how we can help you to move through that, to keep moving forward. So this accountability coaching pod starts next week. I'm going to put a link to my calendar above this video and in the comments, so that you can schedule a phone call with me to see if this is a good fit for you. Any questions that you have, I'm here to answer. So if you're ready to click on that link now before I get a chance to post it, you can go to calendly.com/mindful matters living /30, the number 30, and then MIN for minutes. And let's just hop on a call and let's just talk about what this can look like for you. But I really say, if you're serious about getting to that next level in your business, whether it is, like I said, the big vision, the big goal, or you want to pick something that you just want to work on for right now. Right now we're in Q1 of the year. Pick one thing, right? Pick one thing and let's chunk it down into actionable steps and create that defined action plan so that it seems like a done deal. It's not, I don't know if I can achieve this. I don't know if I'm ready yet, if I have what it takes, if I need to learn more. No, none of that. We're going to pick something that is doable. And we're going to, like I said, chunk it down and make sure that you feel comfortable taking the next right steps. And anytime anything comes up that gets in your way where you might be stuck for whatever reason and not able to move forward, or you go into being overwhelmed or stressed or afraid, you've got me right there. Okay, so book the call. It's no obligation to you. It's just an opportunity for you to get on the phone with me and have a conversation about this. And again, that's calendly.com/mindful matters living /30 min, M-I-N. I'll post the link. Any questions, please let me know. I am here for you, but don't do it all alone, because you don't have to. There's lots of support, and you will make so much more progress when you have that support. And I'm speaking from experience. You know, I didn't quit a 15-year career as a teacher to be fully in my business doing it by myself. Absolutely not. I never would have been able to do that if I didn't have a support system and if I didn't get the coaching that I got. So give yourself the gift of that. Is it an investment? Yes, of course, but it's an investment in you. And we take things a lot more seriously when we make the investment. We don't value free. Believe it or not, we don't. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, everybody, have a fabulous rest of your day and book your call, and I hope to speak with you soon. Bye for now.